So we are live once again. Sorry about that interruption. It seems to be happening a lot on YouTube. So I had to restart the stream. So I don't know what happened. I don't know if I plugged something in or what caused it, but I am back. Welcome in, Chu. Thank you for coming back in. Sorry about that little faux pas there. But it's been happening to people. I've seen it happen a couple times. So what are you going to do? You just start all over. So there's Lenore. Thank you, Lenore, for coming back in. But as I was saying, I'm not the only one having problems with these YouTube blips. So anyway, that's what they make the restarting key for, right? So we'll give it just a few minutes. Sorry about the interruption. And I'll just show while I'm waiting for people to come in, I'll just show some of the beautiful things that I did pick up. So we will have a complete video. I have 6 of these in different colors. They are champagne flutes. And they are in their original container. And there's blue, green, a different shade of green, yellow, brown, and blue. So there's that. We don't want an incomplete video. So we're just going to miss one item. But anyway, back to what I was talking about. And as you know, that is Diamond Point. It was probably, and it looks like, guys, it's never been used. I mean, the stopper is really tight on this. And so it's probably new old stock, I would say. So there we have it. So I know people do like bottles, and this is what I would call the top of the line, really. You have your little diamond points right there. A beautiful, beautiful piece. Sorry about that, guys. I'm not the only one that's had these issues. There's other people that it does that too. So let's see if our luck holds out, right? So now for something a little different. When I looked at this, I had no idea what it was. Yes, it does have a hole in there. I'm sure a cork goes in there. And you've got your little holder here. And what this is a bee, not a bee, but a fly catcher of all things. And I guess you put your cork in the bottom there. And I guess the insects go down in there and get trapped and they can't get out. So that's what this is. It is a fly catcher. Imagine me picking up something that unusual. But it does have little feet on it. I'm not for sure of its age, but that's what it is. It's a fly catcher. So there we have it. Now you could use this for different items. You could put in some kind of a light and hang it outside on your patio on a shepherd's hook, or maybe from above somewhere, because it is very different. And this is all glass as well. Just an amazing little something that's different that I never had before. But it is different. You could do all kinds of little things, with that hole. You could stick something in there, put a light. It would be so pretty as a lantern to hang up, like I said, from a shepherd's hook. It would be a beautiful addition to the fairy garden with little fairy battery pack fairy lights in it. But I just thought it was different, and I just happened to see it. Alrighty then, moving on. Oh, and I did pick up another magnificent decanter. Okay, that's not it. That's not it. here it is. This thing is heavy too. So I have yet another decanter. This one, you can tell it's aged because it's a little, we have some discoloring going on, but guys, when I seen it, I couldn't help it because it was that good. And what did I just do with the lid on that? I just had that. Oh, duh. The like said private. I'll be darned. I didn't know that. I ran a restream. I didn't realize that's what it said. But like I said, maybe that could be cleaned a little bit. I don't know. But look at the amazing top. And this is heavy too. The link said private. Huh, I didn't set it to private. Thank you, Lenore. So, like I said, there are condition issues on this, but it was so beautiful that I couldn't help it. There's your bottom. Let me take that off. Right, like that. The bottom is flat, but yet it looks like that it is up inside the bottle. You're welcome, Lenore. And then it has this amazing top to it. That's glass, and it is heavy. And like I said, hello, Jeffrey. Sorry about that. I had to restream due to circumstances beyond my control. So if I could clean that, it's still amazing, no matter a little condition, a lot of condition. But how beautiful is that? And I'll tell you what it is. And I thought, well, I seen discoloration, but I thought, well, you know what? It might be because it's old. Thank you, Laura. Appreciate that. So let's go in here and take a look. I saw it and I'm like, oh my God, the base of that looks a little rough, but I was willing to overlook it because it was so beautiful that I couldn't pass it up. And I may be able to do something with that. I'm not for sure. But I'm going to try to clean that up. I'm not going to affect the metal. I'm not going to use anything harsh, but I'm going to clean that up. So let me keep going here. And of course, it's marked with a V. We know it's vintage, and this thing's heavy. If you hit someone over the head with that, you'd knock them out. So I will tell you exactly what it is. It's so beautiful, though. I couldn't resist. And the price was right. So we're not going to quibble over a little thing like that. Let's see here. It is Atlantis, Portugal. Oh, this thing's heavy. And it is so beautiful, and I'll see what I can do with that top. But it's Atlantis, Portugal whiskey wine decanter. And it's supposed to have there was a bowl with this one, but this was so pretty. I'm going to see what I can do with this because I may be able to get that off of there. We'll see. If not, it just adds to the vintageness. I met Hoochman impression before, but I just thought it was really neat. And I guess, but this thing weighs a good amount because that's solid. And it's just a really thick, well-made little decanter. And you can tell it's old by the way it looks. But what I found so amazing, whoa. Good thing that was wooden. Was it looks like, guys, that goes up into that bottle. I guess it's an optical illusion, but it looks like that the bottom of it goes up into the bottle itself. But I thought it was amazing, and I will work on that. I mean, I just couldn't pass it up. It was just too good. And this is solid glass, and I'm sure it was too nice. So I picked it up anyway, and I'll see what I can do with the that right there. It might be because of age. I'm not for sure, but we will find out. So, oh, this is the Feast de Resistance. This is at Fenton Bell, and it is signed. So, and I tell you, with getting something Fenton and it's signed just doesn't happen. If you do get it, you consider yourself very fortunate that you did. And where's the signature? I saw it somewhere. Now, wait a minute. Hang on. Where did I see that? Aha. It says F.S. Stevens on the inside. And it is Fenton. Yeah, S. Stevens. So this is absolutely a signed Fenton piece. You probably can't see it. That wouldn't work neither. Let's try something else. I've never found a Fenton Bell that was signed, and I'm like, oh boy, it's signed. How often does that happen? And there is an air bubble in it, but it is I know it is incredibly hard to see, but it is signed right there. S. Stevens. There's your little thing right there. It has a beautiful hand painted floral design on it. And it is like a cranberry color. And it is a beauty. And let me get the specs on it. And I was just really flabbergasted when I found out it was Fenton. I seen the signature and I thought, well, I'm going to Google that because there may be something special about it. And it was Fenton. Let's go ahead and take that picture. And I know someone that collects this particular color. So I'll have to dangle the carrot. Google search. No, it's my bad. It's amethyst is what it is, not cranberry. It's amethyst. And as you can see, it does have some little a honeycomb type design on it, and it's amethyst. Let's see what it says about it. Let's see. It's a vintage hand painted amethyst glass, 6.7 inches, 0.75 inches tall. Artist signed S. Allman. Now, this one's not signed S. Allman. It's signed S. Stevens. S-T. Turn the light on. Stephens. So I wonder who that is. It's not signed with what they said it was. So S. Allman. No, this is not signed with that. It's signed with Stevens. So I don't know where that comes from. I'll have to look into it a little bit better. Let's see. Where's that gallery again? But boy, it's really beautiful. And it is Fenton, and it's amethyst. So I'll have to read up on that a little bit to see what the significance of that signature is. I may have a real something or another. Let's see. Fenton hand painted purple. French cranberry. So I don't know who this person is. but it is definitely S. Stevens, so I may have to look into that and this person's relation with the company Fenton, because then you have this air bubble right here, right there. That's an air bubble, and this is what it sounds like. Has that little small. I'll have to look into that name because it has to have something to do with Fenton, and maybe it was something he commissioned. I'll have to look into it. But it's amethyst. It's really beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. You know, when I look for Fenton, I look for things that are ruffled, but that wasn't ruffled. And I tipped it up and I seen the signature and I said, I came upon something pretty nice. And it's written, it's not print, it's written in cursive writing. So that was neat. Alrighty then. Here's another piece. See what this is. We'll just set that out while I'm at it. I thought this was really precious. This little tea, it's like a creamer and sugar holder. I just hated that I had to drop that stream, but I didn't have any choice. Okay, Syrah, Syrah, like they say in France. Okay, this one is really, really cute. It's look at the little ball-like structures. That's the creamer, of course. It does have its pour spout, and that is for sugar. And I'll show you the base of it. Get that off of there. And I just thought it was really, it just reminded me of something really fantastic. Who's Echo? I don't know who Echo is, Rudy. I won't be on till. But yeah, you guys definitely don't want to miss that because this stuff's going up. I'm not keeping any of it. Here's your little tray. And there's the bottom. It's more than likely pressed glass. And then you have your little sugar bowl, a little fancy tree there. Echo is a girl. She's 1 year older than you. Echo, from living my best life at your previous age from the previous year. Not that I know of, Rudy. You got me. And here's your little picture that has the little pour spout right there. And I'll tell you what it is. It's just a really adorable little piece. That's back when they entertained. So, let's go into the gallery. Look. This way. Yeah, there's something about it that's very, I don't know, it just has that. There it is. And I'll tell you what it is. I just liked it because it was so different. And there's how your handle is attached. It also has the little droplets right there. So that's a different feature. Right there. Yeah, that's what drew me to it, Laura. I thought that was just so amazing. It was just something about it that drew me to it. So what that is, it's Imperial Glass Candle Wick is the title of it. I've had some candle wick before, sugar and creamer template 3-piece set. And even in this set, it doesn't have the lid. So it's just a real little novel little piece here. I thought it was really nice. So I just picked it up. Hey, Brian, welcome in. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. This reminded me of a maid. You know, the little eyelet things on her costume. Don't, I know that's strange, but that's what it made me think of. But it is very precious. I thought it would just, so it is Imperial glass, and it's called Candlewick, which makes, So moving on, let me show Brian these champagne flutes. Now, Brian, I don't think you've ever seen anything like this. This is a champagne flute, and I've got 6 of them, and I have the original container they came in. But look at that long handle on there. So, what they said, Brian, is that because of the shape, it helps the champagne keep its carbonation. Last 2 days. But yeah, because, well, I had no idea that's why it was shaped that way. But it helps it keep the champagne's carbonation. It looks like a wand to me. So this is for a fancy shindig, as they say in Kentucky. Of course, I'm from Indiana. I've been in Indiana far longer than I've been in Kentucky. So I was born there. Yeah, Brian, here's a blue one. I just think they are so fantastic. But yeah, they're rather thin. And what I was telling them earlier, I had to restart the stream because of YouTube. I said, if someone buys these, I will slide these down into a larger pool noodle and they will be totally protected. You got to have a method, but I just thought that they were really amazing. Fancy smancy. I don't think I ever had champagne. I think I did once and I was not impressed. I didn't like the taste of it. So let's see what this is. Now, when I saw this, I thought about Brian. There's something on there that I think that he probably would like. And it's this amber colored. Look at that eagle. Let me bring it in a little bit. And this is amber colored. I was only able to get my hands on one of them. Mimosa. I've never had a mimosa. But when I looked at it, I thought about Fenton because it was ruffled, but it's not Fenton. But isn't that beautiful? It has that eagle on the front of it and that little crest shield. And I'll tell you what it is. I think I just about cleaned out their whole shelf. Hey, I couldn't pass it. Why is there so many pictures of that? Let's see. They probably thought, I know who's been here. Our shelf's empty. I know who's been here. I wouldn't want to, I'm there for the goods. I'm not playing around when I go in. Yes. And I'll tell you really quick, Brian, what it is. It has a name. Where is that? I know I took a picture of it. I said, when I go in for the kill, I'm not playing. I want to get the best of the best and always vintage, nothing modern for me. That's my passion will last, I guess. So here we go. This is a vintage L.E. Smith. amber glass goblet, likely from the Heritage series, featuring an eagle and shield design. Of course, there's your eagle. It is made of amber glass and stands approximately 6.25 inches tall. Of course, the L.E. Smith Glass Company produced it. And the era is mid-century, possibly 1960s or 70s. Brian said she goes in somewhere and she makes a killing. But I thought, wouldn't I love to got hold of 5 more of these? But I think it's beautiful. It's a beautiful standalone piece, even. Brian's like I told Bruce from Bundren's Treasure Chest. They had a haul, and I said, "You sure are rough on a lady's debit card." In the chat, he probably not the chat, but in the comments, I said, "You sure know how to get to a lady's debit card." He probably laughed about it. He killing. That's where I got this ring from. This is labradorite. It was from Bruce and Dennis. It's got a really thick band on it, and it's labradorite. Now you know why I say he knows how to get to that debit card. Oh my God, I'm sorry, Bruce. Here he comes. Welcome in, Bruce. Hey, Lucy. Bruce said, I heard my name. I was just commenting, Bruce, on me putting in on one of your jewelry hauls that you sure know how to get to a lady's debit card. I'm like, oh my, see, guys, you got to watch what you say, because the person that you're talking, well, it was good. It was all good, Bruce, because I was just saying that you had good items. That's all. But he does kill a person, I have to admit. So here is another amber colored vintage piece. Man, I was really cleaned up today. I don't think there was much left when I left. Thank you, Bruce, for coming in. Don't forget that thumbs up. This is the second stream because of difficulties with YouTube. Confucius say never touch button while on YouTube. So look at what we have here, guys. How beautiful is this? And that is amber glass, and it's absolutely vintage. They always indicate that with that sticker right there. And it is a candy dish, a very unusual candy dish, to say the least. Hey, Minnie, sweetheart, welcome in. How are you doing, honey? Are you doing better? I hope so. So I'm going to go in here and tell you exactly. Hey, Bruce, you want to drink champagne with the Rockefellers? You can do it with this. All right. Trouble, incoming trouble. Gizmo. But these are champagne flutes, and I have 6 of them in different colors, and I just thought they were amazing. So, Bruce, what era do you think these are from, this particular type of champagne flute? Kind of reminds me of a wand. Yep, Brian, hammer time. But they're dirty. I can see that through the light, but I'll clean those up. But yeah, I was thinking maybe 30s or 40s, possibly. I don't know. Me neither. I just thought that here's a yellow. I just thought that they were amazing. And the reason why we read up the reason why they're shaped like that is because it preserves the bubbly in the bubbly, the carbonation and so on and so forth. Aren't they super? I had never seen anything like that, but that's what they are. It's the one that you can hold and put your pinky out. They are amazing. I couldn't believe it. I thought I looked at them and I'm like, what is how where's the bottom to that? And they don't have one because they were not intended to have one. So I'll have to look a little deeper into that because they are amazing. I said, do you stick those in the ground? I kind of had to chuckle, but no, you don't because of the pointy end on it. And I even see some bubbling in the glass on this one. Let me turn it very carefully. There's bubbling in the glass. So let me put that in there. Yeah, they are classy. Yeah, you got to be in the high society to handle one of those. So let's go to the gallery and see what we found out about this piece, which is totally amazing. Look at that color. How beautiful is that? Shoot, I'm not part of the Rockefeller clan, so I didn't know what they were. So it's definitely something that a rich person would probably use to drink out of. So there, I've had some Azel Atlas before too. Atlas, it is a vintage Hazel Atlas amber pinwheel lidded candy dish. So it is vintage, of course, and it is Hazel Atlas. Very unusual shape for a candy dish. So I just thought I would pick that up. Always take that lid off and here's your bottom. Just a really amazing and real good shape. You have a doctor's appointment, Brian. Is it about your back? I tell you, I woke up this morning and mine was killing me. And I always run my finger across everything to make sure there's no chips or cracks. I don't see how some of this makes it at these places without being decimated. Thank you, Minnie. It's so good to see you, and I'm glad you're doing better. All right, since this is right in my face, we'll do this one next. This one will surprise you. Let's see. So what this is, guys, this is an Avon Amber Cruet, and it had bath oil in it. And that is what it looks like. There's always people collecting. Okay, Brian, hun. And I can still smell the aroma of something. But it had bath oil, and I'll clean that up because I don't believe in sending out something that's. But yeah, that's an Avon, and I'll have to look a little deeper to see exactly what year that's from because as modern times went on, they didn't put things in glass because they found out that people have kids and they just didn't do it. This might be a promotional type thing. Let me look in here and see, because, back in the day, they did do everything in glass, but I don't think that this may have been, let me see here. But I thought it was just beautiful. And that is an Avon piece, and I know people collect that. So I just picked that up too. There it is. All right, Bruce. Yeah, I'm wearing it right there. Look at that flash. perfect, fit perfect. And I'll see you later, Bruce. Thank you for coming in, and don't forget that thumbs up. Yeah, it does. And also it matches this as well. This is what I was showing earlier. So I kind of went on this. They had it all, it's like they had it all pre matched for me. Hey, Matthew, welcome in, sweetie. So let's kind of nail down the year of this. Vintage Avon Amber Cruet Charisma. Now, this isn't perfume. This had body. Thanks. You have the heat on 85. Nope, not me. It's a little bit warmer here in Indiana today. So, but yes, this held foaming bath oil. And I just think it's really, I thought it was amazing. I know people do collect Avon things, and why not? Let's see. It may be from the 70s, guys. No, I didn't hear about the earthquake. Yeah, I think I did see someone had an earthquake, but I didn't catch, where it, the locale of it. Oh my goodness. That's very frightening, to be in a situation like that, because it's like a tornado. It seems like a tornado passes very quick, but you are so frightened. It's like it takes forever. Well, Matthew, did you lose anything or in the earthquake, or probably pretty scary, huh? They say one day that California is just right on that tip, and with the earthquakes going on, that possibly one day it may go off into the ocean. Oh my goodness. That was scary, I bet. Let me get a drink of water here. That I bet that was. Well, I'm glad you didn't get injured or anything, because I know during an earthquake everything falls, and best thing to do is just get under a table or a heavy piece of furniture so that you don't get. That's good, because I'm sure that was really frightening, and we're glad you're okay. Ooh, that was scary. This seemed to have been the day for candy dishes. Oh my gosh, that was a bad feeling, I bet. There's nothing worse than, it's kind of scary on an earthquake. Do you know what it was on the Richter scale, Matthew? I know that they rate those, they're rated on a Richter scale. But yeah, there's been a lot of flooding in the state of Kentucky. We've had our share of dangerous weather, and it's like the whole world has been engulfed with all these weather phenomenons. Of course, earthquake has nothing to do with the weather. Oh, Nebraska's on a fault line, but we had a very mild quake several years ago. I wasn't home, so I missed it. Yeah, Kentucky is still recovering from floods. I mean, they have a place called Riverfront, and technically it's right on the river, and there was a lot of flooding. There's other places that are flooded as well. And it's just, that it's a disaster. They've been cleaning up all the sticks and the debris and the mud and the whatever else that come up with it. But to see a car submerged with this much left at the top is scary. It's but it's I tell you, it's the weather is unpredictable and it can be very dangerous as well. And the only thing you can do is take precautions for safety. Now the weather people are really up to date with the latest technology on how to track a lot of things. Of course, an earthquake comes out of nowhere. Boom, it's there. So what do you see this candy dish? Talk about decked out. There's the top of it right there with the long pointy end on it. And here is the bottom. This thing's old. There is the bottom, and it does have some weight to it. Isn't that pretty? I tell you, I have never been in a place that gets so much vintage things. And there's your bottom, and I'll tell you what it is. It's rather heavy. It's made really well. I thought it's got the scalloping around there, but your lid catches a little bit further down in there so that you can see the scalloping of the oh, it does sound crystal. I bet this is lead crystal. It's got that ting to it and it's heavier. Anytime uh, now this doesn't, well, it kind of has a ping, and I'll tell you what it is. Now this is fancy. This one just one of those ones that's decked out to the hilt. Let's see if I can find it. Aha, there it is. I know, Minnie. This stuff is. I just happened to stop in there, and there it was. I went in the back and spent a lot of time, and I come out. I didn't have any competition because no one was around it. You probably thought that lady comes in here all the time. I'm not getting around. Yeah, the colored ones are really nice. Now this is special, guys, because this is a princess house. Hobstar is what that is on there. It's called Hobstar. And it's from Princess House. Let's go here and see if we can figure it out. It is vintage clear crystal Princess House Hobstar pinwheel candy dish, and then that a mouthful. Let's see if we can nail down a year. Dish, pinwheel, and Hobstars. Measures 5.5 in diameter and 8 inches high with the lid. And it's heavy. It's 2.5 pounds unboxed, is what it says. Hey, Martiza, sweetheart. But there it is. Isn't that lovely? But it is Hobstars and pinwheels. But I thought that this was rather lovely on the bottom with that, the way it was made. But Brian, this is another piece. Oh, this thing is heavy. And it's a decanter. I'm going to try to clean that up because it's so beautiful and it wasn't real expensive and it's vintage. There's your box. The song "Whoops, I Did It Again" could apply in this case. See, that's why I take the lids off of stuff because I'm hazardous like that. And this is solid glass. And it is a decanter. We just need to clean this up a little bit. And I'm going to see if I can't do it because to me, it is kind of obvious, but it was so beautiful I couldn't pass it up. So we will see if I can get that off of there. I just think it's from age because it is vintage, but man, that's heavy. And it is a decanter carafe but man, that little piece right there is heavy. Anyone like pizza? Yes, I like pizza too much, I think. But it does have considerable weight to it, and I couldn't resist. And then I think the prize of the whole thing, cheese pizza. I like pepper. I like the meat lovers pizza. I do not like black olives. I do not like anchovies. But this was the prize. This is Fenton, and it's signed pepperoni. I love pepperoni too, Minnie. By S. Stevens. So I'm going to have to research, and it would be hard to show it, but it's S. Stevens, and this is amethyst, and I was thinking cranberry, but cranberry has more red in it. So, and this is what it sounds like. And it's got like a little, it's really funny, guys. It's textured, but you can't feel it. So it's on the inside of the glass. That is smooth as silk, and you can't feel it, but yet you can see it is textured on the inside. Just for giggles, let me look up S. Stevens and Fenton. Thank you, Brian. I know these are hard to get a hold of when they're signed. So we are going to Google this because I'm curious. Does S. Stevens, what is his role? Well, that's not even right. I must have hit the thing before I picked it up. What is S. Stevens' role in the Fenton Company? We're going to find out. McDonald's. I find when I eat, oh my gosh. Oh boy. Stephen Fenton. Okay, that's him. Well, that can't be. Is it maybe S. Stevens? Now, Stephen Fenton is the owner of Fenton, president at Fenton. And let me see, Steve Fenton. All it says is Steve Fenton. Well, how come this says S. Stevens? It must be very, it doesn't say, it just comes up Stephen Fenton, president at Fenton Investment. Let's see. Let's do this. The history of the Fenton Glass Company. We'll get to the bottom of it. Fenton Art Glass Companies. In 1970, the company added their logo to the bottom of their original formula carnival glass pieces to distinguish. I don't think McDonald's French fries are as good as they used to be. And Fenton has the number of employees is 120. It's a private company founded in Martins Ferry, Ohio in 1905. History, maker marks, patterns, colors. Let's see, maker marks. In 1970, the company added their logo to the bottom of their original formula carnival glass pieces to to distinguish them from their older carnival glass pieces. By 1974, Fenton was putting their logo on some of the pieces they made. Pieces made in the 1980s have the number 8 under the letter N in the logo. Hey, JEK, welcome in. We're reading about Fenton. We have a signed Fenton piece here. Like it's like falling into a gold mine. And it's F. Stevens. And I don't know what the significance of that person is, but we're about to find out. So it's good to see you, JEK, and thank you so much for coming in. So, from June 1996 to July 1998, Fenton marked preferred seconds sold in their gift shop with a sandblasted solid or hollow star. Thank you. In August 1998, an F replaced the star. Another type of mark is found on the glass baskets where the glass handles of the basket are attached to the base of the basket. A stamp is made. Each handle has a specific pattern to help identify which handler attached the handle. Wow. The marks began in 1950s and were instituted by Frank M. and Bill Fenton. So this is actually the Fenton Company is actually named after the ones who it's named. You know, it's named at Fenton was their last name. And I'm trying to find out this this S. Stevens, and it's in beautiful handwriting, and it's really hard to show you guys, but it's S. Stevens, and I'm trying to find out. As I said on another channel, just so all you know, I'm letting you all know if my heart is too big when I talk, it's because I'm so grateful and blessed to have a family as you and you all here, and I won't stop being the genuine person that I am. No, JEK, anytime that I've ever seen you in a chat, you are the most loving person and never change that. You know, I think that it is very important for people to show love to one another. Someone who has in chats for a long time has passed away, I think today. Uh-oh. But JEK, I noticed that about you. You're very loving, you're very friendly, and you know, don't never change, because it's so a lot of people come into chats and they've had a bad day and they're experiencing personal problems, trials and tribulations, and when you come in and show the love, you do not realize what a profound effect that has on people, because we live in a world where there's a lot of hatred, guys. Let's face it. I can't say any more about that. Someone who is one can say that. But you know, it's always good to, hey Lenore, it's always good to be, you know, when I see you in a chat, when I see how you relate to other people, that means that to me, that means you're very approachable. And I believe if you give love to someone else, they'll give it to you right back. You know, and that's part of your personality. And quite frankly, it's rather pleasant, you know, because, hey, like I said, you know, life is short. Love people while you can before it's too late. Hey, state of disorder. No, I didn't state of disorder. Will you let us know what that means? I'm chomping at the bit. So if you know what it means, state of disorder, please let me know, sweetie. It's good to see you and welcome in. And I'm glad you guys are a little more efficient on finding things than I am. No, JEK, I have never heard you say anything out of the way. It's actually the Fenton stamp. Woohoo! But this is considered amethyst. And what I was amazed with, you would think that you could feel those indentations on the outside, but you can't. They're on the inside of that glass. It's like a honeycomb pattern, but this is as smooth as a baby's bottom, but yet you have that. It will be marked F or F Stevens. I swear it looks, let me look again. It looked like S to me, but I've been wrong before and probably won't be the last time. So let's take a look. It looks like an S. I wish I could show it to you before I blind myself by the light. Let me see if I can get it up here so you can see it. For Petey's sake, what did I do with it? And like I said, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it or not, but it looks like an S to me. Aha, there we go. Whoop, there it is. So what you guys' take on that? You're welcome, JK. You're a sweetheart. Don't you ever change. There you have it, guys. Well, that was a miracle, wasn't it? Because normally S, it looks like an S to me. I don't know. Let me take a look. I don't know. They got me bum-fuzzled. Let me move it in. I thought it was an S. See the particular script in Stevens? And then, I don't know, guys. You got me. If you can tell me, let me know. Or a J. I know it's in script. If it was printed, it would be easier. But there we go. There's that signature right there. But, yep, there it is. Yeah, it does look like an S to me because of the script looks vaguely familiar in Stevens, the way they form that S. So there you have it. I know state of disorder, but man, was it a score because you don't sign Fenton pieces are far and in between, but it is a beauty, and we have a bubble as well. There's your bubble right there. Let me move my phone out of the way. There's a bubble right there. And it's so odd. How in the world did they do that? I mean, both the sides feel smooth as they can be, but yet there's that honeycomb texture in that. How can they do that? No change, never. I am who I am. I have gone through a lot, but I'm so grateful and blessed to be here still with all of you people here or anywhere else that loves me back. Yes, and we do love you back, sweetie. Yes. But this is the score of the evening. But like I said, I do deal in a lot of vintage glassware. Oh, I got to show JEK and State of Disorder. Check that out. Look at that. You guys know what this is? Hold it so you can see it. You're very welcome, sweetie. These are champagne flutes. When I first looked at them, I thought, well, does that stick in the ground? And I felt kind of silly after I looked it up. But these The reason why they're shaped this way and they're very, very thin, whoops, is because of it maintains the carbonation in the champagne. So it keeps the bubbly, bubbly. And I'm thinking this may be from like the 1930s or 40s. Thank you. I didn't know you were. Yeah, it has that where you can. I could just see somebody with their white gloves on and their mink stoles standing there with their pinky out like that. Oh, good. I'm glad that you guys research because yeah, because it has that vibe to it, and they are beautiful. And I have six of them. I like to buy things in even numbers, but who knew that the shape of a champagne flute would preserve the bubbles in the champagne, or the carbonation, or the fizz factor? But they are beautiful. And they came in the original container. How that never happens. And I'll show it to you. So this is what it came in, and that is what it looks like. And you're thinking to yourself, how in the world did they get something in a thrift shop like that in one piece? I often ask them, I said, how in the world? Yes, it because it showed it. Yep, the original thing that they came in when they were bought. Yep, pretty spectacular, I thought. Then we have our candy dishes, and this right here, like I said, I'm going to clean up that metal part, guys. This was too amazing to leave behind, and God, it's heavy. You could get muscles lifting that thing. Mine does too, Jek, because I misspell words. Good thing there's a spell check. I just found the exact signature. He is the painter for Fenton. When you find a piece that has a picture on it, it's painted by Steven, so there might have been some design on that bell. But this is the pattern that's on it. You can tell that it was probably hand painted. So, are you saying that it's something that Fenton commissioned this Stevens to do? But there is your beautiful, and you see, you can tell that's hand painted because a lot of times they'll take a brush and pull it through one color and edge it through another to make that petal like that, and it's got depth to it. Oh wow. Sometimes it's to keep up or finish quick what I'm saying, since sometimes what you say won't completely fit it all. Yeah, because they only give you. Oh wow. So in other words, was that a commissioned thing? What state of disorder? What do you know about? Is S. Stevens an artist per se, to try to nail down maybe the timeline of? He was very talented, you know. But it's amethyst color, and I am a February baby. But I thought that was the score of the century. I know that they stopped signing Fenton after a certain period. Well, according to the specs, let me go back in here and because it is a deep, deep purple, but my camera makes it, sometimes cameras don't do things justice. But yeah, it's an amethyst, but I'll go back in and look. It never hurts to look. When you have something that good, it bears further information, right? Let me see. It's a beauty. Amethyst glass, Fenton, hand painted purple. Let's look at what Poshmark's got on this, or the listing. This one is not painted exactly like the one I'm looking at. Oh my gosh, get back, get back. Let's see. Amethyst Fenton Bell, artist signed. But that's not the design either. Oh, black amethyst. Oh, no, sometimes they sure don't, Gina. With all the great technology, you would think cameras would have us to see the exact color on the item shown. I know it. It really steals a person's thunder, doesn't it? And I'm looking at it and there's different patterns, and this one is the most delicate. I see one with butterflies, and it's almost opaque. So, what I do with the black white? So, this definitely has color to it. Of course, that's just a regular white, but there is a degree of opaqueness until you get up to this point, and then it darkens up. But it does have that honeycomb design in there. That's true. That's how you make one outfit look like many, by matching it with other things. Let me see here. It's not that pattern. I'm trying to find the particular. I guess he did some paintings, as I see one. Well, no, that's not Fenton. Let's see. Hmm. Appears that he did several different things. It's very interesting when you look into Fenton and the history behind it, and it's really interesting. I know one thing, it's the most beloved glass there is. And another reason why is because Fenton, the red and any red glass, if it's vintage, has a degree of gold in it. That's why it's so sought after. But I'm not seeing anything that matches that floral uh, thing going on in that. Let's see. Let's see here if this might be. No, that don't even look like the one. Let's see. Nope, that's not the one. You would think a person could nail down the thing according to what the pattern is, but there's so many going on up in here that, let's see. Well, that's not Fenton. I can't find this exact one, so I don't know. And I'm the scrolling. Oh yeah. You can take clothing and mix and match it with different things, and everybody thinks you've got to and make it totally another outfit. But yeah, I don't see this exact pattern, but it does have a honeycomb effect to it, and it's smooth, but yet the honeycomb pattern appears in the middle of it. So that there is amazing itself. So it tells me it's inside the piece itself, and it sure looks like little honeycomb indentions. But yeah, so evidently, let's see here. Information on S. Stevens, the painter for Fenton. We might as well go all out, guys. Huh. Well, we know that he is associated. Okay, here we go. The image shows a Fenton art glass bell, likely hand painted, while the query references the painter E. Stevens. There's no readily available information about an artist with that exact name working for Fenton. However, it is possible that the query refers to Louis Piper. That's okay, Matthew. Who signed her work as L. Piper and is well-known decorator at Fenton. She was known for her floral nature themed designs, which are consistent with the floral motif seen on the bell in the image. So the plot thickens. Given the lack of information about an E.S. Stevens, it's plausible that the query contains a misspelling or an incomplete name. If the signature on the bell resembles L. Piper, which it doesn't, this is a totally different artist, it is highly likely that Louis Piper is the artist. Further examination of the signature on the bell in comparison with known examples of Piper's work could confirm this. How did Piper come into this? If the signature is something other than L. Piper, it is possible that it could be another Fenton artist, but without a clear signature, it is difficult to say for certain. So, the okay, I think what this is an optic. When this is smooth and this is on the inside, it's considered an optic, because I see one that's got a diamond. Sure. Let me see here. That light didn't do it any favors, did it? Let me move that over. Let's see here. This is what it looks like. And it's just on that one side. This is the only paint that was done on this. So there's that. My arm's getting tired. So there we have it. It's you can tell that, the artist, I've seen people have a solid color and edge it in another one and take a certain brush and make one brush stroke. Yeah, it is beautiful, isn't it? Your grandmother painted flowers like that? Wow. But let's see, let me get it up here and I'll show it to you. And it ends right there. But that is what it looks like. Yeah, you said something about, can I see the floral pattern close to the camera. Found the same exact bell for sale on eBay, but they're charging $17.50. Yes, your comment does show up on your end. I know sometimes on different platforms that things do sell for different prices. Um, they got this one. I do not see the exact pattern, only photo that I could find out of the specific bill. I'll be darned. I know there's a lot of patterns. So usually when they commission what I refer to as commission an artist, it's usually pretty special. In my opinion, maybe the person that listed it for that price didn't give that much money. Yeah, didn't give that much money for it, maybe, and they wanted to sell it. But Fenton, they do have a lot of beautiful, beautiful things. Yeah, but I thought that that was amazing how they were absolutely the king of glassmakers for sure. They made their pieces were so beautiful, and they did a lot of ruffled show while some very minute may not. And just, I know I have been in chats where I could see the seller talking to somebody, but I couldn't even see the person. And it's weird. It's like they're in the chat, but you can't see them. And that's been going on quite a bit. But I tell you, Fenton is really. Yeah, that would be a good ideal, which would probably be an older person that, of course, you never know. But Fenton used to have that oval sticker with Fenton on it. But I know one thing, people are crazy about Fenton. See, that's why when you go thrifting, you look in every nook and cranny because you just never know when you're going to find that wow piece. But yeah, that's all I buy is the. Hey, Ash, welcome in. We're discussing a bell. Good to see you, sweetheart. We're talking about this Fenton bell that is signed, and we're discussing Fenton. It's signed with this signature. Let me get it turned the right way, would help. For Pete's sake, guys. It's signed right there, and that is the signature it is signed with. And it looks like an S. Stevens to me. So, sometimes people that sell these items, it goes in a wide range of prices. But I'm telling you, you get a hold of one that's got that signature on it, and that means a lot. A lot. But yes, Fenton was definitely at the top of their game on glassware, and they still remain very popular, down through the years. But yeah, man, they really decked things out back in the day. Your glass pieces were totally decked out. Like this one, for instance. You can't even put your finger where there's not a decorative spot on that. But yes, you guys don't want to miss Tooch, man. I'll be on with him April the 24th at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard. And it sounds like a pretty good time to me. So that's my next sell because, like I said, when you pack glass, it takes time. And I do it all. No, you gotta find your box, wrap the product, put it in the box, measure the box, weigh the box, come up here, do the invoice. Then after it's paid for, I do everything a bag in a box. Then you go downstairs, you print your thing, then you go downstairs and wrap it for transport. And I do a lot of bag in a box because it's cheaper. And the funny thing, found a Fenton collector who's answering someone's question on a blog, and he said the sign pieces are worth 60 and up. Oh wow. Awesome. See, it's that signature, that gets it. Like, if you see this plain little purse and it doesn't look like much, but you see the word like Coach or uh, Dolce and Gabbana, that's different. It makes it look more attractive. The unsigned one started at 20. But yeah, thank you. That's a Beth necklace. That is sterling silver and onyx. Isn't that pretty? And these are onyx too. They're just a different shape. But yep, it takes a lot to wrap glass, and I do it. I do it right. When you first start doing it, it's a little iffy, but you do learn along the way. And I use many different packing materials. I use egg cartons. I use pool noodles. Oh yeah, it's labradorite. Bruce, I got this from Bruce. But isn't it beautiful? I thought it was different because of the way it was shaped. And there's your band right there. It is gorgeous. You wear this ring on this hand, you don't need nothing else. I know she does. Thank you. And I was mentioning Bruce, they put out a little thing on what they found. And I said, "You sure know the way to a lady's debit card." And then he pops in the chat, and I'm like, I was just being silly because I have bought some pretty amazing things from those two. I'm like, see, that's why you have to watch what you. It wasn't mean. It was meant in a joking manner. I told him he sure knows his way to a lady's debit card, and he probably laughed about it. We are the two Beths. But yeah, he probably laughed about it when he seen it because he knew I was right. He's like, you know, Bruce is a really, really nice guy, really is. I just found it very, very ironic that he came in right after I said that. But they do have some amazing jewelry, though. They really do. But you hear that every time the debit card is on fire every time they get finished. But no, I just love jewelry and I like old jewelry and signed jewelry. And hey, I think I should have been born back in the Victorian era where they really dressed it up. But yeah, Beth, she does have nice stuff. I mean, she really does. Well, you guys, I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you for coming in the second time because the first time was a total disaster and I don't know what happened. So I just deleted that one and added this one. But YouTube has been doing that lately. It done it to somebody else. And so I guess I'm part of the redo committee, so I need a labor right ring. I need a labor right ring to go with my necklace and earrings. I am actually tempted to make my own because I have ring settings. Well, why not? State of disorder. You never know what you can do until you try. I know that you're saying I get silly at times. Well, I get silly myself, JEK. I never, Oh, I wouldn't worry about it. JEK, just be yourself and just roll with it. I'm known to say some pretty crazy things myself, and I just say them and roll on. I know, Ash, it's been weird, like it just, I'm just afraid if I do it wrong, I'll lose the stone. Well, make sure that whatever it's set in, that it has a good stability with prongs or whatever you choose to use. I think that if you have a talent, you should use it, and you might be surprised. It's worrying that keeps you from doing things. Just do it and just see what you can do. You never know your full potential until you try. That's what they say. Life's about getting doing it over and over till you get it right. And it's just, it's not, there's nothing wrong with making a mistake, because then you know why, the mistake and why it happened. But then you just go back in and start all over again. Thank you, Minnie. Thank you so much. And I'm glad you're doing okay. I know you had a scary moment, but we're so glad to see you and glad you're doing okay. And we'll still continue to pray for you because, hey, we all need prayer. Anyone that is alive and breathing needs prayer, because life is a series of circumstances. And so I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you so much, JEK, for coming in. Thank you, State of Disorder, and everyone that came in. I get rather windy when I get on here because I so enjoy your guys' company, and it's just wonderful. And I do have another channel called Genuinely Gina, which I do talk about the Bible. So you might want to check that out, because I do have that second channel. And I'm not saying I'm a professional anything. We come together and read about the Bible and the positivity and things like that, which we all need. I mean, guys, let's admit it, it's rough out there sometimes. Thank you, Brian. Let me find that link right quick here now. But I do have a second channel, and it's called Genuinely Gina, and we just discuss the Bible and read different things. I'm not a professional by any means, but that doesn't mean that we cannot learn together. And that's what it's about, giving someone positive things in their life that people might be going through a hard time, guys. And that's true. So it's just, what's said in that chat stays in that chat. I'm not a chatty Cathy. I'm not a gossip. I don't believe in telling other people's business, and that's just the way it is. So let's copy that link, and we'll bring that in and go back to my original channel. Not that one. Let me click this way. Why do they, with technology, you would think we'll switch the account, go back in this one. And let's see here. Come on, it takes so long to get somewhere. And then we'll come here. For God's sake. It's not even letting me do it. Videos. Let's see. Live. Well, okay, Sarah, it's not letting me do it. Imagine that. So, but I do have that second channel. It's called Genuinely Gina. My name is spelled just like it appears on my other channel. So we start on Tuesdays afternoons at 3 p.m. And just come on in. You're always welcome. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for coming in and our discussions. It's been really fun. I love you guys, and I'll check you later. Bye-bye now. Thank you so much.